Welcome to What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander. The crossroads where culture, lifestyle, and community meet. All hosted by the legendary New York radio TV personality and proud Harlem American, G. Keith Alexander.
Yes, that is me. How you doing? How are you? Welcome to What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander. It's a wonderful day. Don't forget to go out and vote. Hey, but I want to tell you, we're going to have a great show today because we have Miss Phyliss Yvonne Stickney, and she has longevity and staying power in the industry. Phyliss began her education at the University of Delaware, where she became an associate in the theater department. She was soon called to New York City, where she continued her studies at the Institute of New Cinema Artists, but Hollywood would soon take note of this dynamic performer. A decorated actress, director, author, producer, community activist, motivational speaker, and much more than that, Phyliss is best known and respected for her work in film, stage, television, and comedy. A diverse and acclaimed actress, Phyliss has an unmatchable range from an articulate attorney to a feisty comedy club diva to a Jamaican mother of class and status to one of the most intelligently hilarious comic talents recognized. Please welcome the lady who has been in New Jack City, Die Hard with a Vengeance, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, The Inkwell, What Love's Got to Do with It, and Malcolm X. Please welcome, what's your name again?
Phyliss Yvonne Stickney.
That's right.
Hi,
Welcome.
Kiki.
How you doing? So nice to have you. I mean, this is almost like old times.
I know. They don't know about us. They don't know about us, Kiki.
That's true.
Wow, it's the captain. Good morning, Kiki. The world's greatest morning show.
That's right. They don't know that we used to be together every morning for about 9 months.
Morning.
Yes, we did a show called The World's Greatest Morning Show with G. Keith Alexander, and we'd have to travel to Brooklyn every morning. Sometimes it'd be snow on the ground, and we'd get there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. But we did a great show, I must say. We did a great show.
It was amazing. And we introduced HD platform to the Caribbean because it was a Caribbean, one Caribbean radio. And because of G. Keith Alexander, I was able to try my, exercise my talents, if you will, or my skills as a radio personality or co-host with the captain.
Yeah, yeah. And we also, we must give credit to Kevin. Kevin was with us as well.
Kevin, and Kampalia.
Yes, and
Kevin, Kampalia, you and I.
That's right. That's right. It was great. It was fun being with you because you are the empress of entertainment.
That's right. I'm not the queen of comedy. I'm not the hoe of ha-ha. I am the empress of entertainment. That's right. I had to get my title.
That's right. So what's going on with you in your life today?
Well, the interesting thing, and so I want to just be honest with the viewers, I had to come and get my ballot because this election, like all elections, but this one probably has a little bit more heightened importance to me and perhaps others. So I had not received my ballot, so I came to DMV to make sure that I was registered, to make sure that I could get my ballot so that I will be able to vote in this election. So that's why I'm in my car. I'm actually waiting for them to get me my paperwork together. So I had to bring you up, but I couldn't say no. I couldn't cancel, and they gave me the appointment at the last minute. So you're here with me at the DMV.
Well, that's so great. I've never done a radio show with anyone in the car before. So
I've never done one either. So this will be the first for both of us.
Yes, it will be. So Oh, all right.
What's happening?
Well, that's what I want to find out from you. I mean, I understand you've got something great happening on the 29th.
Aha.
It's called
I'm doing my
Zoom.
first Zoom room speakeasy quarantine comedy. Doing a quarantine comedy series, and we're going to have it available to people on Zoom, which really allows people from all over that are not just local to come and see the show. So on October 29th, it's going to be 8 o'clock in your market. It's, of course, 7 o'clock in Central and 6 o'clock in Pacific. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the first hour is going to be a silent auction. For those who buy VIP tickets, they'll be able to bid on some of my memorabilia, poster from New Jack City, posters from some of the shows that I've done over the years, some pens and some special things that have come along, or T-shirt from a tour that I did. So that'll be the first 45 minutes to an hour. And then I'll hit the stage doing my quarantine comedy for an hour. And then those who are VIP will be able to join me in an after session where they get to answer or ask questions of me and have a personal exchange.
Well,
So that's going to be on the 29th.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm sure it's going to be a great performance, because I have personally witnessed your comedy routines. I mean, I've on several occasions introduced you over at the Sugar Bar, Valerie Simpson's and Nick Ashford's Sugar Bar, where you've performed, and I brought you up on stage, and you rocked the house. I mean, so I'm sure that this is going to also be a very funny engagement.
Well, this has been an interesting time for all of us in the world. And so for me, I think, laughter is the best medicine. It really is, because as you're laughing, every organ in your body is being massaged. So there is some medicinal properties and values for laughter. But just because we've been under such stressful conditions, because we've had such horrific things happen to us as a nation, and some of us, as our families, we've lost, things have changed. And so it's my opportunity to come back and share and just give my flip side on what's happening in the world and what's happening in my life, just I'm deciding, and it's not coming out of the closet, it's coming out of the dye. I may just come out and be my old silver fox self, but it's a lot of things going. So just a lot of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff that I have to talk about, what's been going on with me in my personal life, and just really sharing some laughter with people that I think we all could use a good dose of laughter.
Oh, yes, for sure. And I enjoyed what you just said about when we laugh, every organ in our body is all the organs are massaged. Now I can explain what some of the now I can explain what goes on down there now. Okay, it's pretty happy. So
pretty happy. Everything gets waked up and
there you go,
energized and electrified. Yes.
So what is the most recent film engagement you've had?
Well, actually, I was on a film set when I got wrapped because of the COVID, something called Young, Wild, and Free. I was working on a film, Twinkie Bird, wonderful casting director out here in LA, cast me in a film. We had just finished doing something called 50 and 50 Women in Writing that comes out of the Billie Holiday Theater. It's our 4th year. And we were doing that film, and they came and said, Miss Stickney, we're wrapping you. And I said, well, why? And they said, well, because of the corona, we're shutting down. So that was actually the last film that I was working on, Young, Wild, and Free. Before that, I got a chance to work with Gabrielle Sidibe, who we all love from Empire, on her directorial debut, something called A Tale of Four. And it was a short film that I got a chance to, it was based on Nina Simone's song. And so they gave Sophronia a mother. You have Peaches, you have Sophronia, you have in that song that she memorialized. So Gabby's directorial debut, I was able to portray Pauline, the mother of Stephonia, in that. So those are my two
Nice.
most recent film experiences.
Well, out of all the films that I listed at the beginning of the show, which is your favorite?
You know, I don't know that I have a favorite film that I've actually worked on. Each one brought something specific and special. I love to work. So it's like, was I working? I loved it. But in terms of, I guess, because of, let's see, New Jack City, because I went and guerrillaed my role. New
You
Jack
did.
City. I was actually supposed to play the role of Pookie, that Chris Rock.
Oh, really?
The history, the backstory is, yes. And you weren't going to know that Pookie was female until where she falls off the bike. And that's when it was going to be revealed that Pookie was a girl. So when I found out from one of my neighbors that there was a film crew in Harlem on 145th Street, I lived on 104th Street, and then I found out it was New Jack City. Well, Preston Holmes, Doug McHenry, and George Jackson, rest his soul, can tell you that Miss Stickney with her crew came over on the set and said, excuse me, I know you're not doing a film in Harlem, and I'm not in it, so what's my role?
Mm.
That's how I became the prosecuting attorney.
Oh, really?
So I went and called them on it. Oh, no. Pookie from me and not put me in it at all? So that's how I got the DA, Ms. Hawkins. Yeah, but I love that because of I was able to make it happen. The one I guess that is really exciting to me is the Inkwell, because it was a tribute to my father. He just transitioned, and there was so much in the film, my posture was how my father always sat. So much of that film was very personal to me because I got to dress the set. I got to use my own props. And so I think each one has a specialness. What's Love got to do with it was special because I got a chance to work with some amazing people. Angela Bassett was awesome. I got a chance to work with my friend Lawrence Fishburne. Got to meet Shy McBride, and I think each one has a specialness. So I don't know that I can say I have a favorite. I love them all. What's your favorite?
And you played the 911 operator in Die
Yes,
Hard with a
operator.
Vengeance.
And with my favorite line, and I'm going to marry Donald Trump. Whoa. Who knew?
Who knew, huh?
That's why I had to come up here. Listen, if I have to walk y'all in when they call the number, don't be mad. My assistant's out there holding the line. I was like, there's no way I'm going to miss this. And my ballot had not come in the mail. So the only thing I knew to do if I would go renew my license, because I just had a birthday, my special day was October 1st. So
happy belated birthday.
It expired. So I had to come. So I said, let me do that to make sure that I am registered to vote. And then I just got a text earlier that the ballot is in the mail. So when I leave here, thank God, I will have my license renewed, but I'll also go and get my ballot, and I will vote. And you know it's important to vote.
Oh, without a doubt.
Not just in these, but the primaries are important because that's where the laws are changed. We see what's happening right now with the Supreme Court. We see all these things that are happening, and nobody's in jail yet. No one's been arrested for treason. I mean, there's a time that this could not go down like this. There are some things that have been done, and so we have to become very involved, but we also have to not just vote in the presidential elections. We got to vote for our assembly people and our council people and our senators and our congressmen where the laws are changed, because that's where we got to be really mobile in getting these laws changed. And if we don't understand that, we need to be re-educated, because the dumbing down of America is apparent in a lot of ways, and we don't want to be the dummies.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, let me ask you this. Were you active during the Black Lives peaceful protest marches?
You know, and out here, it was literally right on Fairfax. We were right there in the middle of it. The helicopters were over our building, and we were right in the middle of it. And I just want to say that sometimes even the Black Lives Matter, things like that, we get very involved in things, and sometimes we have to follow the money and see who's behind that. There's some very interesting financial supporters of that could be a little interesting. So Mr. Soros, I think, is a person who is funding that, and he's not necessarily someone that we, people of color or people who have or immigrants and come here. We just might want to follow that who's funding Black Lives Matter and where the money comes from might give us an indication of ultimately what their platform might be. But any organization that is talking about positive, but at the base of it, we have to always follow the dollar. Follow the dollar. Black Lives Matter, I found out, is supported by some very interesting people, some interesting money, and so I'm looking for that. I'm doing a little bit more research. Let me put it that way. But I support all organizations or any organization that is truly doing the work.
Well, let me say this, because we've only got about less than 2 minutes left, maybe a minute, and then we're going to go to break. The way I see it is, there may be a Black Lives Matter organization and there may be money funded into that, but that wasn't what Black Lives Matter, the people who were out in the street, the people who were protesting peacefully, that was a different idea, a different movement. Those people, we didn't know anything about what goes on administratively at Black Lives, the organization. Black Lives Matter was, hey, we want to change what's happening with the police killing our people. So so we've got less than 30 minutes, and I just want to say, Phyliss, this is really a joy being with you, even though you're in the car and I'm here. But we're going to take this break, and we'll be right back. Don't forget, you're listening to What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander, and I love you for it.
Tune in every Friday to get your weekend kickoff early. Join the legendary G. Keith Alexander for What's Hot Harlem America. The flagship show of the new Harlem America Digital Network has something for everyone. From the latest in entertainment to empowerment, health and wellness, and more, we'll bring you a variety of fresh viewpoints, voices, and ideas. What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander can be heard every Friday at 1 p.m. in New York and 10 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Well, thank you so very, very much. Phyliss, you are a Harlem native, resident. I mean, you walk down the street in Harlem and everyone, they know you, they speak, hey, sister. And, how long have you been such a big deal in Harlem?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I moved to Harlem in 1981. And I moved into a building that was burned out largely, but because I'd been sleeping on floors and in between residences, this was like the Taj Mahal to me because it was 4 bedrooms and amazing, but I had to go through it. So in 1981 is when my love affair with Harlem started. And because of my love for that building and how I think I worked, even before I'd done any film, people of Harlem embraced me because they knew how much I loved Harlem. And then when I began to work in theater first and film and television, I always talked about Harlem and I always had an embrace for Harlem. So my love affair with Harlem has been since the 80s. It's just under 40 years. And it's a little different for me now because of the gentrification and how it changed so much. Swallow hard, swallow hard, swallow harder. Swallow harder, just one more time. Because we were we were no longer able to play our drums in Mount Morris Park. We were no longer able to just live life in the way that we did prior to FDB. No, it's Frederick Douglass Jr. Boulevard. Give it its full value. So, and I know it's lovelier, but it's different. The rhythm, the energy is different. It's changed, and so now now I'm just. I don't say my love affair is over, but it's changed. I was in one of my favorite stores, and I saw one of my, as my students would call her, Becky, came and said, "Can I have my regular?" And I looked. I was like, "Okay, well, when did she get a regular? How did she have a regular? When did that happen?" So I just remember my love of it, my love for it, and I loved it, and it loved me back. So that's my Harlem. Having won first place at the Apollo before there was a Showtime at the Apollo, there's so much richness for me in Harlem. So many memories. Some of them are no longer there, and so Paris, I understand, is no longer there. Some of the old jaunts. I remember it was the Baby Grand. I remember when it was Small's Paradise. I remember. So I have memories of Harlem that are no longer there. My love affair for them is still there, but it's changed.
I see. Well, let's talk about your involvement with New Federal Theater.
Wow, Woody King. Woody King gave us an opportunity back in the day. One of the first plays I did in the legitimate, quote unquote, legitimate theater was Woody King. And I played a waitress in the 1940s. Trying to remember the name of the play. New Federal Theater, like New Heritage Theater, it's really the New Heritage Theater that gave birth to me as an artist in Harlem. Roger Furman, under his tutelage, I was able to perform the lead in plays that I probably would not have had the opportunity if I'd been in other theaters. But because of the Harlem theater community embracing of me, because of Roger Furman and the New Heritage Theater, I was able to study, do OJT. That's where I met Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee, the late and amazing Ossie and Ruby, who did everything possible that they could for the theater and were amazing leaders in the theater and it made amazing examples for me. I met Bea Richards there. I met Roger Mosley there. This man was a genius, and he knew Diana Sands. And when he told me that I reminded him of her in moments that I was on stage, it was under this man's brilliant tutelage and his vision. He was able to attract the New York Times and reviewers from downtown up to Harlem before Clinton and Starbucks came. I'm just saying. This is before Clinton and Starbucks came. So Roger was a force to be reckoned with, but he definitely knew theater, and he was able to produce things that attracted, like I said, the real reviewers came up to Harlem, and that was unheard of at that time. So Harlem is always my special home. It's my special artistic home. It's my spiritual home because so much of my life and my understanding about the importance and role and responsibility of artistry and celebrity is a result of what I experienced and what I learned in the village of Harlem.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're going to make me cry.
That's okay. I got to miss you.
That is great. So what do you think of comedy today with these younger comedians?
Well, I think comedy today, I say to people, I was there when Eddie Murphy at the Paramount Theater used the B word. And my brother Eric, my younger brother, and I were sitting in the audience. And I remember I gasped and looked at him. I said, uh-oh, we're in trouble now. Before Eddie, who I love and respect for what he's done in terms of his personal career, and his life. We all have our personal choices.
Mm-hmm.
But what he did before Eddie, it was Richard Pryor, who we all aspired to be like,
Right.
and who we wanted to emulate. And because Richard, to me, was masterful in his ability to inhabit people from our experience. But he used language and elevated it, even though it might have seen or been profane before Richard said it. When you used the B word, you didn't feel like it is today. And I was there when Eddie made it okay to be called a B. He says the Bush B. And everybody then, all the younger comics, started wanting to emulate him. So it became very raunchy, very raw, and it was not always that. There's a book that a woman named Sheila Moses wrote called The Last Mile.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about conversations with Dick Gregory. I have the honor of being mentioned as his comedian. So he said, because I was intelligent and because that's what I like. I like thinking comics. I like intelligent comics. I like comics who don't use profanity to make their show. That they are researched, they're well read, and that's what I like.
Well,
I think that comedy right now, I like people. I love Dave Chappelle because of his brilliance and how he's able to bring our world right to us and make us laugh with and at ourselves. Tiffany Haddish, I understand her trajectory, if you will. I'm saddened by some of the choices that some of the other comedians make because we don't have to be profane to be funny. And that's one of the things that I made sure that I was throughout my comedy career, is that I wanted to be informative as much as I was hilarious. I wanted my mother to be able to come to the show, and people who were spiritual, quote unquote, or religious, I wanted them to be comfortable. And as a result, I've been invited to Israel, and I've been all over the world doing my comedy and what I do.
And
so I think that comedy needs to raise the bar a little bit. Let's elevate the language. Let's elevate the experience. Because I'm not talking about my P or your D. Fill in the blanks. It ain't that important.
Okay, but you did become well known for a particular
power of the booty.
That's
yes,
right.
I did.
Yes. So
yes,
tell us,
I did.
how did the power of the booty come along?
The power of the booty was really a true experience because some man had followed me down the block, down the street 4 or 5 blocks, literally, and I was aware because he kept, and then he got out of the car and parked and wanted to talk to me, and I asked him, "Why'd you follow me?" And he said, "You have a hot body," and I couldn't deny it. I couldn't deny it. At that time, I danced. Dance was my first discipline, so I was dancing 4 or 5 days a week. There was everything was tight and right and standing up, just and so that came out of that experience. Most of my comedy is extemporaneous. Of course, over the years, there are things that I know that work now, but when I go on the stage, I pray and I go. I don't really have a script. I'm starting now to write, try to make a little playlist or write something down so that I'll load the barrel so that when I get there, I pray and I'm like, God, what do I need to tell the people? What do I need to share today? Because it's an experience for me as well. It's a spiritual experience when I get up there on that stage because I don't know what's going to come out. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just as surprised as you. When the power of the booty came, it wasn't written, it just came.
Really?
So I'm up there wondering, what am I going to say? Many times.
Wow.
But I know that, it hasn't failed me, and I trust that I know how to tell a story. And so when I started doing comedy, they were telling me that I wasn't a comedian because I didn't have punchlines, I didn't tell jokes. I told stories, and I told stories that were funny, and I learned the rhythm and how to develop to develop routine and material. I watched television, so I talked about Jerry Springer. I would talk about all the things that were happening just to let them know I'm normal like the rest of you, and then I would put in my other stuff. Like, come on, how could Jesus be where he lived for 33 years and not wear a hat, and not be black? Come on. Talk about it. And so my own, where is the first man step? Or where did Noah? Okay, let's just do the 2 by 2, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. You know the story, right? Then
Yes.
it lands and it lands, and we see the land, and then the little dove comes to the leaf, and we know, okay. And then they get off the boat, 2 by 2, 2 elephants, 2 giraffes, 2, okay. So if it didn't start in Africa, why don't we see the hippopotamus in Switzerland? Couldn't have been in Switzerland. So I use my humor to say things that were sometimes not as palatable or were not popular. And so that was my way to have a conversation. Yeah, to start a conversation and maybe change the way you think, or, suspend judgment with curiosity, replace judgment with curiosity.
Well, we spent a lot of time together, as we said before, and there were some wonderful characters that you brought to radio. And I must say to people that we did not identify you that whole 9 months as being Phyliss Yvonne Stickney. It was just the Empress.
Nope.
Just the Empress.
Right.
So what were some of the characters that you brought for our audience, some of the characters that you brought to radio?
Well, one of the things I did, of course, darling, I was the Empress for G. Keith Alexander, darling. Only G. Keith would have allowed me to bring the Empress. I did not want them to have Phyliss Yvonne Stickney. She was much too valuable at that time, and we were still doing things on spec. So the Empress was actually born there with G. Keith Alexander. One of the people that I love doing, really, I really love doing my other lady is Yolanda, because I really got to share something with everybody right now. I'm changing my nationality, and don't judge me, please, all of you. I see you right now trying to judge me, but you cannot do it. You cannot judge me wrongly, because I'm not ashamed of being an African American, not at all. It's just that I want to get a role in film playing an African American, and it seems I must be a Brit to do it. There you have Yolanda. All righty. And then, oh my God, let me say something to you right now, Poppy, because the times I walk into the store like that every day, okay? And the people look into my face and then telling to me I'm a black person and get very upset because I know black persons are Dominican. ¿Tú entiendes? I'm Consuelo today and tomorrow, and no black person nunca. ¿Tú entiendes? And that was a real person that inspired, because I lived in Washington Heights, very, Latinx community. And every day they would see me walking down the street like that, and the people talking to me, they asking to me, ¿Dónde tú eres? Every day, ¿Dónde tú eres? ¿Dónde tú eres? And I'm telling Estados Unidos. I'm telling to them Estados Unidos, but they don't believe it to me. They don't believe in me. So I saw this woman one day that was really irate about something, and she actually said, look, her complexion was just like mine, and she was saying, I know black. And I thought, wow, what kind of mindset is that? I mean, I know we got a dose of it here, but it's there too, where she looked just like me. You feeling me? But she said, I know black person. So I got Yolanda, my favorite Brit, because I want to get a job playing a black person. So I've got to be Yolanda to do it. I've got Consuelo, my Latino, very, very nice like that. But my favorite today, if I can get him to come, if I got a call into her, Mamu Hardy. Oh my God. Oh, Phyliss from South Africa. Oh my God. I'm so happy to see your hair. You are GK today. Very nice. Very nice. We are so happy that you are there every time. interviews that, I tell people I got company when I'm by myself. Okay.
Well, now, okay, but there's one other woman, because we're on a Caribbean station.
Oh my, listen, man. Don't start it. You hear me say? Don't start it all, GK, because I know right away what I talk about. You understand? Listen, this woman here, you know she? You know this one? Hortense, me call her. Hortense is her name because she's really, really very Jamaican. Don't play with she. Understand?
I understand.
All right.
I understand.
All right.
You are one
Serious today, man. She waiting in the line. The people come 3 times for me right there for the line for go get my lights. I mean, look on the face. Me can't go nowhere. You see me light on my face? You see me do interview? What you want? What you want?
You are so talented. You are so talented. We're here with Phyliss Yvonne Stickney on What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander. We've got less than a minute, so I just want to remind you that you can stay connected with us at work, home, or on the road. And remember, you can add the Harlem America Digital Network's What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander to your iPhone and iPad. All you have to do is download the official Voice America Talk Radio Network app. It's free. Tell your friends. We'll be right back in just a second or two, or maybe a little longer, but don't you go away, okay?
Tune in every Friday to get your weekend kickoff early. Join the legendary G. Keith Alexander for What's Hot Harlem America. The flagship show of the new Harlem America Digital Network has something for everyone. From the latest in entertainment to empowerment, health and wellness, and more, we'll bring you a variety of fresh viewpoints, voices, and ideas. What's Hot Harlem America with G. Keith Alexander can be heard every Friday at 1 p.m. in New York and 10 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes, we are here with the funniest lady. I mean, if you ask me, I think she's the funniest lady in show business. And she's multi-talented, and she is beautiful, and she's my friend. And her name is Phyliss Yvonne Stickney. And Phyliss, so now, what else would you like to discuss with us?
I just want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you to you, G. Keith. I want to say thank you to you and all those people who came before and kept it real and not ratchet. Now that's a T-shirt. I just want y'all to know that's my new T-shirt. So I do have some things. I have a clothing line that I've been trying to put out for a very long time, but I should say COVID was an interesting time for me. I was able to write. I was able to refocus, reassess a lot of stuff. And so I did some writing and some off of things, some scripts that I had. So we're about to start our first under private stock studio, which is official. Now our new company. We're going to be producing our first reality show and a web series.
Great.
I'm writing it and going to direct, but I'll also be a producer. And so we're really realizing that we have full spectrum programming. We have everything from a talk show to a game show, health and wellness. There's one that I decided just now talking with Miss Palmer that I'm going to do called Doing Time, because I met some amazing people. But there was something just a little different about them, or off, or something that I picked up. And the common thread was that they all had parents that were in prison. And so they were doing time. So we're doing, one of our shows is going to be called Doing Time, where we're talking to sort of a reenactment. I'm figuring out the style of it or the format. But we're about to put our footprint, if you will, put our footprint out there, put our product out there. My brother, who's also an artist and amazing writer, Timothy Stickney, is a sci-fi buff, and he has written an episodic and some features that are just amazing. And so we're looking forward to collaborating with some wonderful people and getting these things on the airwaves. digitally or otherwise.
Well, keep in mind that the Harlem America Digital Network, we have our radio channel and we also have our TV channel. So we can, you can always have a home with me. So anything that you want to discuss, we can talk about it and see how we can make it happen. The Harlem America Digital Network, we're the total Black experience in entertainment, empowerment, and health and wellness. So any shows that you have that you think that might fit within that realm, entertainment, empowerment, or health and wellness, we would certainly like to talk to you about it.
I will definitely. That's actually Mr. LeBeau texting me now. They're very interested because I did have a conversation with them. And so my motto is not instead of, but in addition to. So I do think that I'm sure that my management is going to be reaching out to you very soon.
You've always said that not instead of, but in addition to. Yes.
Yeah, that's you know my saying. That's my Phyllisism. My Phyllisism. I'm putting on a t-shirt. Yeah. Not instead of, but in addition to. Because some people think it's either or. No, it's and.
That's right.
I'm not. What are you, an actor or a comedian? I'm both.
And very
not
good.
Instead of, and in addition to, because they try to put us in one little box. No, I'm all of that. I'm an artist. I design, I paint, I make jewelry, whatever. It was like they closed down this area. Okay, well, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to find a way. I'm like water. I find my own level. Don't play with me. Do not do it.
Well, I think I counted up about 8 films that you've done, and 13 TV shows, and I've
done 27 films. I don't know how many TV shows. Some of them I've forgotten. Wow. But I've done 27 films and at least 15 television shows. Yeah.
Okay, so forgive me, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You're better than Mo. You're real good.
Now,
and I only say 2 because I think I did 2 more. But between 13 and 15, you good though. You real good.
Well, in doing my research, I did see that you were also in the Inkwell. Now, did you shoot that in North Carolina?
We did.
Well, you know what? Okay, so then when I was with I was the TV correspondent for the Ebony Jet Showcase, they sent me down to North Carolina to interview Jada Pinkett at the Inkwell. Now, I didn't know you were there. I mean, I didn't see you there.
But remember, the weirdest thing, it's so funny that you would say that, and I have an opportunity to say this. Thank you. It was when my father transitioned, and so I missed a lot of the behind the scenes interviews. I'm not even in the official cast photo because I was dealing with my father's funeral.
Oh,
so that's probably what happened. When you were there, I was gone to my dad's funeral.
Wow. And and while I was doing the interview with Jada, it was like she was off in a distance. It was like, and so after I got back to New York and months later and everything, and I found out that she had hooked up with Will Smith, I said, well, during the interview, maybe she was thinking about Will Smith, and that's why I kind of felt like she was not completely there for the interview,
right.
But wow, okay.
That was an interesting time. That was an interesting time for Jada. She was going through a lot. I don't know if Tupac, she was close to Tupac. It was a lot going on.
Right,
because Jada had a social consciousness as well, always had. And so I believe that a lot of that was going on during that time. But I was a little distracted because Daddy was, and I'm a daddy's girl. So it was a blessing that I got a chance to do the film. But yeah, I was probably away because I didn't make the cast. And I have it, of course, in one of my, hopefully I still have it. I lost a lot of things in storage, but the picture of the cast of Inkwell, there's one spot that I'm, and I would have been in that spot, but I didn't make the So I missed you. I missed talking to you.
Yes,
too.
you did. Yeah, but you have me now, and you've had me ever since
Yes.
then. You've had
Yes.
me. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Excuse me. So we're winding down on this wonderful conversation of our intimacy in the vehicle, and so so
I
what else
mean,
would you?
I looked. I'm telling you, I had to do it. I had to do it. I could not. Come on, you know me. I got to keep my word. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I can't, that means it's a big problem, but I'm going to let you know. And that just wasn't enough time to turn to say, gee, I can't do it. I got to be at the, oh, this is my favorite. This is my new favorite voice right here. This one right here I'm doing for you right now. Because of how
Really?
things are turning around in the world and everything like that there. I need to be able to relate to everybody. You understand? So I got to take this here voice like this here and get that sucker ready. In case I got to go handle something. You understand what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Oh,
Because
wow.
everybody think I'm Motown, but I'm country. You understand? Don't get it twisted.
So when do you plan to come back to New York?
I'm trying to get New York is scary because you got to do 2 weeks quarantine, and that's
True.
what I'm just waiting for things to die down.
True.
So
true.
because if I come to work, I've got to quarantine myself for 2 weeks. So I'm praying to God, the angels, and all the ancestors that this thing passes. It'll probably be after the election. I just got invited to do an interview with Kim Coles. She's doing podcast for something on the 5th. And so I know I'll be here then. I'm going to do the show in my undisclosed location on the 29th. The 29th. Now, listen, I want to just take this moment to tell everybody we're having a Zoom audience. So there are 50 tickets left. So if you're interested in a ticket, you need to send an email to us and let us know. And where you can send that email, I will give you the address right now. You can send it to Stickney Biz, StickneyBiz @gmail.com or PhyllissStickney@gmail.com. Now, when I get that email, Miss Palmer or my niece will look at it. VIP tickets are $30. That means that you get to get that pre-show and that after show. And the general admission is $15. We couldn't make it any more affordable for you because, after all, you are going to be indulging with the Empress.
Wow.
So, and then there's PayPal and Cash App. It's I'll send G Keith the flyer, and so you can find out from he'll have it on the website or something.
And it's
But I'll
called
send him the flyer.
Zoom. It's
So
called Zoom
remember,
Room Speakeasy. Zoom Room.
It's called the Zoom Room Speakeasy. Actually, it's called Stickney Speakeasy. But yeah, the Zoom Room. It's going to be in the Zoom Room. So there are 50. I think there were 50 yesterday, and I haven't checked in today. But hurry up. Phyliss Stickney @gmail, StickneyBiz@gmail. Send us your email address. We'll send you the link, and then on the 29th you'll be there with us and be laughing.
Yes, well,
and healing and organizing.
Well, make sure you send me the flyer. I'll put it on my Facebook page. Because what Harlem America is about also is about helping small Black business owners amplify their fame, their fortune, and their followers. So you're a small Black business. You have less than 500 people working, and so we're here to help you to promote whatever it is you're doing. Now, you mentioned Kim Coles. You mentioned Kim Coles a little while ago. Now, Kim just texted me a couple of days ago because I'm trying to get Kim to come on and do the show, and she said that as soon as
I'll tell Noni. I'll tell Noni.
Oh, good.
I'll tell Noni that you're trying to reach her.
Well, she knows I'm trying to reach her.
When we get off. When we get off today, when I get back to the room, I'll let Noni know that you're trying to reach her. Should I give her your information?
Yeah, well, I sent her the information. She said that as soon as she finishes what she's doing, then she'll be able to, and also,
So I'll give that extra little thumbs up for you.
I appreciate that.
I just did G Keith. Yeah, I'll say I just did G Keith. I'll put that. You know what I mean? I'll put that little extra thing on there. You know what I mean? I'll put that little extra. I'll put that little extra on there. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Right in.
And also, Shirley Ralph just sent me an audio message the other day saying as soon as she wraps her movie,
SLR.
She's in Canada, and she says as soon as she wraps her movie, she wants to do the show with me. So Harlem America is coming along very nicely. And so we've got 3 minutes left, and I just want to do this before we end. The Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce continues to work tirelessly through the pandemic experience in concert with our medical, education, business, banking, elected officials, nonprofits, and individual partners to provide much needed services. To support those most severely impacted by the pandemic, social inequalities, systemic racism, and economic challenges, the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce has created a GoFundMe campaign, Support Harlem Now, assisting our senior citizens, children, students, small businesses, food banks, the homeless, arts and culture, not-for-profits, and many families in need. And if you want more information, go to greaterharlemchamber.com, greaterharlemchamber.com. And so with the last 2 minutes, I just have to say that this has really, really been fun, our reconnecting like this, having this time to talk and laugh, and you be so entertaining in a vehicle, in a car. So
listen, let me show, just because I love you, look, there's look at that. Look at the line.
Yes, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm not playing. I was not playing. I was not going to cancel anything that I said I was going to do for G. Keith Alexander. So I'm just grateful that you were able. And I told Miss Palmer. She was like, "But you're gonna." I said, "Listen, it's G. Keith Alexander. He knows me. He's gonna roll with it. He knows I'm special. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like Phyliss is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know, right? Well, hey, Phyliss, we got less than a minute, and I just want to say thank you. Good luck to you, and I know you're going to vote right. And ladies and gentlemen, have a great day.